Ryan Coogler, the acclaimed director behind the groundbreaking film Black Panther, has opened up about the heartfelt and ambitious storyline he originally crafted for the sequel, a script that was intended to feature Chadwick Boseman prominently in the lead role once again. This revelation sheds light on what could have been a deeply personal and culturally rich continuation of the Wakanda saga, focusing on themes of fatherhood, legacy, tradition, and unexpected conflict. At the core of Coogler's initial script was a profound Wakandan ritual known as the Ritual of Eight. This tradition involves a young prince, upon turning 8 years old, embarking on an 8-day journey into the bush alongside his father, the king. The rules of this ritual are strict and symbolic. The pair must venture into the wilderness without any modern tools or aids, relying solely on their wits, bond, and ancestral knowledge to survive and connect. During these 8 days, the prince is encouraged to listen attentively and obey every instruction from his father without question. However, there's a beautiful counterbalance. The prince is granted the rare privilege of asking his father any question that comes to mind, and the father is obligated to provide honest, unfiltered answers. This setup creates an intimate space for generational wisdom to be passed down, for vulnerabilities to be shared, and for the young heir to truly understand the weight of leadership and the personal history of his lineage. In Coogler's envisioned plot, this ritual would serve as the emotional backbone of the film. The story would follow King T'Challa, portrayed by Chadwick Boseman, taking his young son on this sacred journey. It would explore the tender dynamics between father and son, delving into T'Challa's own reflections on his role as a ruler, a protector, and a parent. The ritual would allow for poignant conversations about Wakanda's history, the burdens of the Black Panther mantle, personal losses, triumphs, and the future of the nation. These quiet, introspective moments in the bush would contrast sharply with the high-stakes action that Marvel films are known for, offering audiences a deeper emotional layer to the superhero narrative. But the tranquility of this father-son bonding experience would be dramatically interrupted. Midway through the 8 days, Namor, the formidable ruler of Talokan, would launch a sudden and devastating attack on Wakanda. This invasion would force T'Challa and his son to cut short their ritual, racing back to defend their homeland while grappling with the unfinished emotional business of their time in the bush. The conflict with Namor would not only test T'Challa's physical prowess as the Black Panther but also his growth as a father, forcing him to protect his child while imparting last-minute lessons on courage, strategy, and resilience. The film would weave together themes of interrupted legacy, how external threats can derail personal and cultural traditions, and the enduring strength of familial bonds even in the face of war. Coogler described this concept with evident passion, emphasizing how the Ritual of Eight was designed to humanize T'Challa further, showing him not just as a heroic king but as a devoted father navigating the challenges of raising the next generation in a world full of dangers. The script aimed to expand on the world-building introduced in the first Black Panther film, exploring more Wakandan customs and rituals that highlight the nation's rich, fictional African-inspired heritage. It would have allowed Boseman to showcase a new side of T'Challa, vulnerable, reflective, and profoundly paternal. Tragically, this version of the story never came to fruition in its intended form. Coogler completed the script, pouring his creativity and respect for Boseman into every page, but circumstances prevented the actor from ever reading it. Boseman was privately battling colon cancer, a fight he kept hidden from much of the public and even many colleagues. By the time the script was finished, his health had deteriorated to a point where engaging with the material wasn't possible. Coogler recounted this with deep emotion, acknowledging the heartbreak of losing not just a collaborator but a friend and an iconic figure. Chadwick Boseman's untimely passing in 2020 sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and fans worldwide. He had portrayed T'Challa with unparalleled grace, strength, and authenticity, turning Black Panther into a cultural phenomenon that celebrated Black excellence and inspired millions. The decision to recast the role was never seriously considered out of respect for Boseman's legacy. Instead, Coogler and the Marvel team rewrote the sequel entirely, incorporating T'Challa's death into the narrative as a way to honor Boseman's real-life loss. The resulting film, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, released in 2022, shifted focus to the grieving nation of Wakanda and its remaining heroes, particularly Shuri, Letitia Wright's character, who steps into a new role of leadership and protection. The movie dealt head-on with themes of loss, mourning, and resilience, paying tribute to Boseman through emotional scenes and a powerful performance from the ensemble cast. Namor's attack remained a key plot element, but the story was reframed around collective grief rather than the father-son ritual. Reflecting on the original script now highlights the profound impact Boseman had on the franchise. His portrayal elevated the material, and Coogler's initial ideas were tailored specifically to Boseman's strengths as an actor. His ability to convey quiet intensity, moral depth, and emotional nuance. The Ritual of 8 would have provided Boseman with scenes of rare intimacy, allowing him to explore T'Challa's inner world in ways the first film only hinted at. This revelation also underscores the unpredictability of filmmaking, especially in a shared universe like the MCU. Directors like Coogler bring personal visions to blockbuster projects, infusing them with cultural significance and emotional truth. The shift from a story of fatherhood and tradition to one of communal healing mirrors real-life events in a poignant way, turning Wakanda Forever into a cathartic experience for both the creators and the audience.